Disney Pictures.
And here we go!
This spring, get ready for fun.
Look out below!
Get ready for adventure.
Wait for me!
Get ready for action. As one of Disney's all-time favorites returns to theaters, The Rescuers. Meet Bianca and Bernard.
It'd be a great team.
Two little heroes about to take on the most wicked woman in the world, Madame Medusa.
You will never see that titty again!
Oh, Bernard, so exciting.
It's Walt Disney's classic, The Rescuers.
Yes, The Rescuers came back to theaters this weekend in 1989. I don't know if this was timed well or not because Rescuers Down Under came out the year after this. Part of me thinks that Disney put The Rescuers out this weekend to see how well a sequel could potentially do. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if it was still in production by the time this re-release came out, but not a bad theory to have on this one. But yeah, The Rescuers, classic movie. Fun adventure movie. Bob Newhart, Ava Gabor working off each other really well. The animation's great. The songs are pretty good. The adventure aspect is very fun. It's a good, fun Disney movie. Not one of the better Disney animated classics, but still a classic. But still a great movie all around. I really enjoy it.
Walt Disney Pictures presents its all-new 29th full-length animated motion picture. Australia. Mysterious. Untamed. And for a young boy named Cody and his magnificent golden eagle, it was a world of adventure and discovery.
Fire!
Until they met the villain McLeach.
That bird's gonna make me rich.
An evil trapper who threatens to separate them forever.
It's time you learned how to fish for croc.
But though hope is running out, a message is on the way. To the Rescue Aid Society.
There has been a kidnapping in Australia.
And two little heroes, Bernard and Bianca, are flying in.
Whoa! Get it! Whoa! Hey, let's go for it!
It's the Rescuers in the most dangerous mission ever.
We'll never make it! Cinch up your seatbelt, mates.
Now, they're joining forces with their new friend Jake and his army of misguided mates.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Ah, Frank, give it a rest.
They're flying into action, riding into danger.
Missed.
In the most breathtaking rescue mission ever.
Hey, who killed the music?
Oops.
Yeah!
This holiday season, join Bernard, Bianca, Jake, and
Wilbur!
in an adventure above the ordinary in the land down under. Walt Disney Pictures, The Rescuers Down Under.
Throw another shrimp in a barbie, sports fans. Here we come!
And along with the Rescuers, it's Mickey Mouse and Mickey Mouse.
Which one is which?
In the classic tale of the wealthy prince and the poor peasant who decided to switch places.
If my friends could see me now.
He's an imposter.
I'm the prince.
If they don't chip
This holiday season, join Donald Duck, Goofy, Pluto, and Mickey Mouse in his first new big screen appearance in almost 10 years. Walt Disney Pictures, The Prince and the Pauper, and The Rescuers Down Under, playing together at theaters everywhere.
I mean, talk about a great double feature that is. You get a good Rescuers sequel, and before that, you get a really good Mickey Mouse short in The Prince and the Pauper, which they say it's 10 years since Mickey made his appearance on the big screen in a short film, but I mean, technically, Mickey's Christmas Carol did come out in '83, so really it was about 7 years, but I mean, they're close enough. 10 years, I mean, you round that up, it's pretty much 10 years, but yeah, Prince and the Pauper, I'll briefly talk about that one because that's a pretty good short. It's a pretty good retelling of the story of the Prince and the Pauper. Of course, you have Mickey Mouse and the Prince. They switch lives. The Prince goes on to live with the peasants, and Mickey the peasant gets to live his life as a prince. One of the guards, played by Pete, wants to kill the Prince and take over the kingdom, and pretty much the story of the Prince and the Pauper, pretty much. And like with Mickey's Christmas Carol, they do a pretty good job with it. They do a good job keeping the story short. It's only a 22-minute short, and it's a really good animated short. The animation in that is incredible. It still holds up to this very day. It does a good job of keeping the pacing very, very well, despite the time period. It mixes the comedy and some little bits of drama in there, too, that are actually very good. The voice work is very well done. You got Wayne Allwine back as the voice of Mickey Mouse and the Prince. and he actually does a pretty good job in both roles. Like, I didn't think he could pull off a more kind of a British kind of accent, but he does in this short playing the prince, and he does a very good job with it. And it's an overall great short. I would have liked to see this double feature on a big screen, especially with this intermission segment that they added in here, which I thought was pretty interesting. So yeah, you basically got a 10-minute intermission to go get your popcorn, go to the bathroom, do whatever you needed to do before the Rescuers Down Under starts, and then the movie would begin. And Rescuers, I think, was about, let me see here. Yeah, Rescuers was close to about an hour and a half, so basically you had a 2-hour package here. And I always think back to when Coco had the Frozen Christmas short that they had at the beginning of that movie, which was basically the Christmas special that you see on TV every year. And I think the reason why that didn't work out as well is because that Frozen short, you have the Frozen short, which is about a half hour, and then you have Coco, which is about a 2-hour movie. So you're sitting there for 2.5 hours. You don't get that little intermission in between like you do with this. And I think people were really upset at that, even though I thought both of them worked very fine. I don't think they really should have been plastered together like that, especially with a movie that's over 2.5 hours. With a movie that's over 2 hours long. With this, I think it works better, even with that little 10-minute thing. I am kind of curious of what they did between the credits and then the actual movie. I really think that they probably could have put maybe another short in there, or I think they may have had like some kind of trivia thing. I know they had that when the Toy Story double feature came out in 3D about 10 plus years ago. But that was an interesting little bit of footage I found on YouTube. But as far as Rescuers Down Under goes, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a fantastic, very underrated Disney movie. What's interesting about this movie is that it's the first time they fully used the computer animation production system, the CAP system, which basically digitizes all the ink and painting and the animation drawings, and it would allow for these films to come out faster and look much better, look much crisper. And you can definitely see that, especially in the early scenes of this movie, where you have the kid and his gold eagle flying up in the air. The scenes of those flying scenes still hold up to this very day. This movie is over 30 years old, and those scenes still hold up to this very day with the music by Bruce Broughton. It's great to watch. And like, you have a great villain here, George C. Scott playing the bad guy. You've got Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor returning as Bernard and Bianca. You got John Candy playing Wilbur in this. He's very good in this. And the movie is just a ton of fun. It's a very good movie, a well-made film, nicely animated, great story, great villain, great characters, just a fun, enjoyable adventure. And it's a shame that nobody went to see it. And I remember watching the Waking Sleeping Beauty documentary where they talked about how Jeffrey Katzenberg said that they pulled the marketing after the first weekend because the movie didn't do well. And so this movie barely made any money because most of the advertising was already gone after the first weekend. And this was before the Thanksgiving Christmas rush came into play. So Jeffrey Katzenberg basically took a risk by pulling all the advertising. He didn't even wait to see if this movie would play well over the holidays. And the movie, I think, was out of theaters by the time Christmas came around, which is a shame because people really missed out on another great Disney movie in 1990. There was this, and then DuckTales the movie, which we talked about earlier. They missed out on some great movies here, and The Rescuers Down Under is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, which I don't know who would, but if you haven't seen who wouldn't have, but if you haven't seen Rescuers Down Under, please go watch it. It's a very good movie that severely got thrashed by the box office, but it's more than worth seeing in theaters. I'm getting confused here. It's more than worth seeing. You could definitely find it on the Disney Plus. Please seek it out. It's a fantastic movie. I can't recommend that movie enough. Rescuers Down Under.